What do I look like, a pig now, huh?
Let me ask you a question. Yes, you. What do you think is cleaner? This or this? Well, I've worked in the food industry for a long time, and trust me, I've seen this not being very well cleaned multiple times. Depending on what restaurant you're in, sometimes the standards for hygiene aren't absolutely fantastic. So when you think about it, why don't we eat more with our hands? Historically speaking, we've probably been eating with our hands for thousands of years, ever since we started cooking food, because we didn't have utensils. The Philippines in general, a lot of people used to eat with their hands. Today, that practice is slowly kind of disappearing, and I think that's very sad. Everyone has various ways of remembering their childhood. Me particularly, it's with food. And kamayan has always been something that's just been stuck in my memory, and each time I'm in the islands or at home, I love to eat with my hands, and it's more convenient. It's easier. Usually when people go kamayan, they're usually eating massive boodle fights, which is a little inconvenient at home because you're not always gonna have that many people. But I haven't seen a boodle fight made for like 2 or 3 people. And come to think of it, wouldn't that be fantastic to serve your guests at home? So today I'm gonna show you how to do just that, and guess what? It only takes 20 minutes. So let's go. When making a boodle fight at home, especially for a limited number of people, or even more so when you're making it for a large number of people, the most important thing is to make sure that you're organized. If you're not organized, it's not gonna work out well for you, simply because a boodle is slightly confusing since there's so many elements going in there, but it doesn't have to be daunting and really scary, because if you have all your ingredients ready and the preparations are fairly simple, you should be good to go. First thing we're gonna do, you grab a pan here, some oil. I'm gonna be cooking my bangus first. So you got perfect boneless bangus here, salt and pepper. You really wanna get that middle part with lots of salt. It gives a nice crisp kind of skin to it. Some pepper. And to help it keep nice and moist, I've got a little bit of my annatto oil here. This goes into the oven on a broil setting, so you're cooking it from the top. Obviously the pan's gonna get hot as well, so you'll have that bottom heat coming out and giving you that skin. Not really crispy skin, because that's not what we're really looking for. I'm looking for just like a perfectly meaty top. So this goes in the oven. Once that's in, the other thing that's gonna take a while is our steak. So very simple, I've got a steak here on a cast iron pan, salt and pepper. Cook everything on one side. Next, we have our pork belly. That goes in. Most of the meat is on by now. Next, I have some rice that's cooked already. This is a Tina 1. It's a beautiful red rice from the mountain provinces in Ifugao. I've got an onion. All I'm gonna do is shave that really thinly. This is just to give us a nice bite to the tomato salad. About half a white onion will do. See beautiful thinly shaven onions. Flip the steak. Slice my tomatoes nice and thin. Leave that with the onions. I'm looking for a beautiful char on this steak. We're just gonna go ahead and let it rest right here for 5 minutes while everything else is cooking. So simple, we've got some kangkong here. Just chop it up into manageable pieces. I have my nice, beautiful chili garlic that I use all the time, that I make always in bulk. Once that starts bubbling away, go ahead and grab your kangkong, throw that in there. We're just waiting for that to wilt. It's gonna take like literally 3-4 minutes. Our kangkong is on. The next thing that's gonna go in there are our enoki mushrooms, which I'm just gonna leave to the side here. And then after, when the pork is already done, I'm gonna use the same garlic to cook the shrimp. Kangkong is looking absolutely gorgeous. Keep that on the plate. Same pan, bit of butter. Get my enoki mushrooms, cook that in the butter. Add some achuete oil. I'm gonna go ahead and flip the pork. Add some salt to that side. Add some salt to the enoki mushrooms. You want to check the enoki mushrooms. If they're brown on one side, go ahead and flip them. These are ready. Same pan, garlic, shrimp that have already been deveined and cleaned. This is kind of like a Hawaiian scampi, a little bit, so add some butter to it. And then we're gonna sprinkle a tad bit of brown sugar as well. Let that create like this beautiful kind of flavor and sauce to it. Check on the pork. Almost there. Taste the shrimp at this point. Beautiful. Shrimp is pretty much done. Go ahead and transfer that to a bowl. If a couple escape, no problem. That's for me. Same pan. I have my taba talangka. 1 beautiful teaspoon goes in there. Same thing. Garlic oil achuete goes in there. Let that loosen up. Let that become really friendly with each other. You want that flavor to really disperse nicely. Once you have that going, super simple. I got my beautiful red rice tuna one. That goes in there. Take off the pork. Let that rest. Give it a taste. That's good. Rice is ready. Check on the fish. Fish is ready. Just like that, we have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful setup. Like all the colors and everything, it's so vibrant, it looks so tasty. I dare you to make this at home and everyone that's gonna come through will wanna eat dinner with you. Tomatoes, onions, we forgot about them for a while, remember? We're just gonna add a little bit of really good quality vinegar in there. Just mix that up. Really don't need to do much to this. This is just to kind of counterbalance all the fattiness that we have. I'm then gonna really quickly chop up some spring onions. Now to prepare the banana leaf, all I wanna do is run the leaf on it just a couple of times. This just makes everything a bit more hygienic and safe to eat on. You're looking for that really quick color change on all sides. Once you have that, just place it on a pan like here, and we can actually start now preparing all the ingredients that are gonna go on the actual boodle itself. So I'm gonna start by chopping up my steak here. Nice small pieces. That is a perfect medium rare strip loin. So you're making this boodle for 2 or 3 people, right? So make sure to kind of like space the ingredients out. Do the same thing with the pork. Kind of chop it up. Just like that, literally, this maybe took me 20 minutes to put together. You have a whole meal for 3 people. You put this on a plate, they're gonna love you forever, trust me. Now for my favorite part, my hands are nice and washed and clean. All I gotta do is taste a little bit of everything. I know it's a really tough job. Obviously, we made this really tight and plentiful just so it looked pretty, but I have a ton of banana leaves. So you can use these as little plates, extra plates for people, so that they can actually use this as a plate for themselves. And you're still keeping within the theme of everything, which is fantastic. All right, where do I start? That's always the problem. You never know where to start. I'm gonna get a little bit of my strip loin here. Look at that, that's like a perfect medium rare. Put that on here. The rule, it's a very, very, very loose term, a rule, is usually you pick with one hand and then you eat with another hand. So I'm gonna pick with my right and eat with my left, which is wrong because I'm right-handed, so I should have picked with my left, but oh well, I got too excited. So my kangkong, my enoki, grab a couple of shrimp here. The shrimp are so sweet. That with the taba talangka rice. The beautiful tomatoes, just a little bit of acidity. Pork. Yum. Steak. This is such a festive, beautiful looking moment. And what I love about eating my hands is that everything feels so clean, and you kind of have that interaction with the food, kind of like engagement with the food, and it feels right. Like before utensils and everything, everyone was eating with their hands. Your gnocchi mushrooms, a little bit of bangus. And the beauty of a boodle, you don't have to be jahe to get more, because that's the whole point of it. It's just you keep going back for more and more and more. And obviously it'd be much better if I had friends to share this with, but I'm a pretty lonely guy, I don't have many friends.